I have with me today a very special guest, Mr. Chandra Kumar Bose, to talk about West Bengal politics. Mr. Bose is a vice president of Trinamool Congress and grandnephew of Netaji Subhas Chandra Bose. He was previously active in Bharatiya Janata Party, where he was known for taking positions in ideological and cultural nationalism, and also successfully contested elections in BJP tickets. Welcome to the show, Mr. Bose.
Thank you, Jai Hind. I must correct you. I am not the vice president of Trinamool Congress. I've just recently joined. I was vice president in the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Okay.
I am just a member of Trinamool Congress as of now.
Okay. Of course, I'm sorry for my ignorance. I'll straight away get into the first question. See, the first phase of polling in West Bengal is over, and it resulted in huge turnout. We all have heard this 92.8% turnout. Chief Minister and the Trinamool boss Mamata Banerjee has claimed that people came out in large number to protect their rights and reject the BJP. That's her contention. The BJP, on the other hand, says that higher turnout signifies a change. Now, how much of these statements are hype and how much is real? What is your position on this?
Well, if you see historically, Bengal elections have always been very high turnover. And not necessarily it has brought about a change in the government. If you see the elections in 2011, and then 2016, and then 21, it was all above 82%. Of course, this time it was exceedingly high. There could be two reasons. One is the SIR. You see, the SIR has been conducted, and over 1 crore voters approximately have been deleted from the voters' electoral rolls. So obviously, if the same amount of people voted, and the total number of votes have come down, you see, there were a lot of dead voters. There were duplications. All that has been eliminated. So, but the vote remains the same, but the total number of voters have come down. So obviously the percentage would rise, would shoot up. This could be one of the reasons, might not be the main reason. The other reason is large number of women voters this time have come out to vote. Women have always been, active during the elections, but this time I think the number is very high, and I think women has been supporting the Trinamool Congress and Mamata Banerjee for her very dynamic schemes that she has implemented over the years. So I think large number of women voters, the total number of voters coming down, a percentage therefore going up. And the other thing is, a lot of people have been rather terrified that they would lose their vote if they don't come out and vote this time. Because there's been a lot of confusion. This SIR exercise, though a very crucial, important exercise, it has been conducted in a very haphazard, unprofessional manner with a lot of untrained staff. They have been trying to do this using AI and all sorts of gadgets, but somehow, it has left a very, very, sent a wrong message to the people of West Bengal. So people thought they must come out and vote so that their votes are intact, their voting rights remain intact. So they have come out in large numbers and voted. But we need to really see who would benefit. But I feel with the trends that I've seen, I've been observing, and our journalist friends have been making a lot of analysis. I think the plus side is with the government, in spite of anti-incumbency factors and all that. I think the first phase of the vote is pro TMC, pro Mamata Banerjee.
Right. I'll come to other questions about anti-incumbency and later. Yes, you have raised two important issues. One, you have said that the SIR and the women turnout in large number might be the one of the maybe the reasons. See, obviously there is a intersection of arithmetic or mathematics and politics here, which is what you have pointed out. But there is another thing which was pretty unique in this election: the large scale of transfer of government officials and injection of officials from outside into the state to manage polls. And these are two big ticket issues raised by TMC. Has it in any way affected the first phase of polling?
Well, you see, the during the elections, whether it is state or even the national Lok Sabha elections, it is the Election Commission of India which takes charge of governance of the police machinery, of law and order situation, etc., etc. But we have not seen in the past, the large scale transfer. I mean, they all would be eligible. I mean, whoever is the police commissioner, the principal secretaries, the chief secretaries, they are all would be eligible to the election commission during the elections. So I don't seem to understand why it was necessary to transfer individuals at very senior positions, and in fact, right across at all levels these transfers have been effected. I think this sends a very wrong message that our bureaucracy, I mean, you're not able to trust our bureaucracy. I mean, that is the message that Election Commission has been given. And, it is as if that we are, appointing our people to do the job. Now, this is our people and your people. This division among the bureaucrats, among the police force, I think this is very unfortunate that this kind of attitude is there with the Election Commission and the central government. I mean, all government servants are eligible, they have vowed to the Constitution of India to carry out their duty. So I don't think they are, eligible to either the state government. They should not, either to the state government or to the center or to the Election Commission. They would be assigned the job which they would carry out with the best of their ability. So I think this has also sent a very wrong message, and it has kind of, I think, broken the backbone of the bureaucracy and the police force, that such transfers were unnecessary, completely unnecessary, according to me.
Right. You're right. You kind of, you put it factually by saying that it's election commission and not the center which does it. But, generally the perception all over is that EC was, and as the allegation of TMC has been, doing these things at the bidding of the center. Now, anyway, I'll come to the next question. Compared to 2021 assembly election, where TMC had a huge lead of about 9.8% votes, say 10% over BJP, to make it a round figure. Do you think your party has managed to retain its base in the first phase? Because it's expected that BJP might have better chance in the second phase, which is due on April 29th. So what has been the performance as per your feedback?
Well, the first phase election basically involved north of West Bengal, where BJP had a certain amount of support. In the previous elections, if you see, their vote share, the vote percentages have gone up. But I think this time they are, at a back foot, for the simple reason they have not really built their organization. I mean, this is a problem with the Bharatiya Janata Party. I was with them for 7 years. I appreciated Narendra Modi ji's leadership. But what I found when I started working with the party, their divisive politics for vote bank and the constantly bringing religion into politics is not appreciated by people of Bengal. Bengalis, we are spiritual, we are religious, but we don't want religion to be mixed up with politics. So that is one thing people would reject Bharatiya Janata Party. And I think they would come down in their vote share as far as North Bengal is concerned. Now, and Trinamool would increase its vote share in the first phase in North Bengal. As far as South Bengal is concerned, it is the stronghold of Trinamool Congress, where BJP would hardly be able to do much, because here again the organization, BJP doesn't have an organization in South Bengal, in Calcutta, and the surrounding areas. And the other big issue is they don't have a CM face. In Bengal, it is imperative for a political party to project a chief ministerial face. They don't have a face against Mamata Banerjee. This is extremely important. If you see history, when in 1977, when Siddhartha Shankar Rai was the chief minister of the Congress, that time Jyoti Basu's face was projected as the CM's face as far as the left front and the CPIM is concerned. Similarly, when Buddhadev Bhattacharya was the chief minister of the left front in West Bengal, it was Mamata Banerjee's face which came up and projected as the CM. Now, today we don't have a CM space for BJP. It's blank. So people in Bengal look for this leadership. Unfortunately, there are too many faces and they don't really come up to the stature of Mamata Banerjee, because she is a mass leader. She's, come up the hard way. She stands with the grassroots. She stands with the people of Bengal. And, she's the mass appeal that she's got. Unfortunately, Bharatiya Janata Party could not really, build a leader to match up to Mamata's caliber.
Was it in some way Suvendu Adhikari was being projected as a CM aspirant for BJP?
You see, these are rumors, which makes matters much worse. It should be officially announced. I don't seem to understand why the BJP fails to announce a CM space prior to the elections. I mean, today we have Narendra Modi ji, Amit Shah ji, all camping in Calcutta, in West Bengal, fighting for elections. But Narendra Modi and Amit Shah are not really going to be the chief minister in West Bengal. Of course, it is also a fact, whoever becomes a CM would hardly have any powers or any say in the party or in governance. He would be controlled. This is another impression that people of Bengal feel. He would just be a puppet in the hands of Amit Shah and Modi, and he would be controlled with a thread and would be reined from Delhi to take action, either negative or positive. So that is another big issue, that you don't have a voice, you don't really have a personality which can really stand up for the people of Bengal as far as the Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned.
Yeah, you're raising very important issues, but let's first come to some more specific issues. I'm talking about SIR, the Special Intensive Revision of Voter Roll, which happened. As you earlier pointed out, nearly 90 lakh voters have purged from the electoral rolls. Of these, 27 lakh cases were at the adjudication stage, which means people had various documents in their hand. They wanted to prove that they were actually proper voters, but they were denied that opportunity because the adjudication process was still on, but the election process started. Now, how much TMC was dependent on these votes? Will it affect TMC's prospects? Because even if it is understood that the electoral purification of electoral rolls is significant, important thing, it should be done. But the fact that 27 lakh people didn't even have a chance to express their case, put up their case in front of the authorities.
Well, the way the SIR was being conducted and the way the voters were segregated and selected, it appears that they were trying to delete and obliterate the TMC vote bank. But unfortunately, that did not happen for the BJP and the Election Commission, because many, many Hindu voters, you see, they were targeting the minority Muslim vote bank. Predominantly, the Muslims have always voted for TMC. Prior to that, they used to vote for the Left Front. Then they switched to TMC, and they are still with TMC. So they thought if we could delete, giving false excuses that Rohingyas, there are some BJP leader stated that 20 lakh Rohingyas are moving around in and around Calcutta. You see, 20 lakhs is a figure. I think it's a world figure. Even right across the globe, if you see, there are no 20 lakh Rohingyas. They have not been able to point out a single Rohingya in West Bengal today. So they said Rohingyas, Ghuspetias, as they are being called. Now, who are these Ghuspetias? Where are these Ghuspetias? Our Home Minister Amit Shah ji keeps on saying, chun chun kar hum nikalenge inko. But who will you select? Who are these people? It is a very abstract, vague concept. So people are very annoyed with this thing. And the other issue is a lot of genuine conservative Bengali families, freedom fighters, judges of the Calcutta High Court, their families. I was also called for the SIR hearing, and they said that my name could not be traced in the 2002 SIR list, but my name is very much there. My name was found later on. So whose mistake or whose inefficiency is that not to track my name? Of course, it was regularized because luckily my name was tracked. But people whose names were not on the 2002 list, but genuine voters, they have all documentation. They were just, left on the lurch. They had to stand in the queue. You see, Calcutta city people, okay, they are more organized. But people in the districts, people in the rural areas, they really suffered. They walked 30, 40 kilometers to go to this hearing. They stood in the queue. Some people dropped dead standing in the queue. Others fell seriously ill. Their names were deleted. They didn't know where to go. So people are extremely annoyed. Ordinary people, Hindu people, Hindu families of repute in Calcutta city, they were obliterated. In fact, Amartya Sen, Nobel laureate, he was also called for the hearing. So these are issues which I think Election Commission should have been very careful. But what was their objective of deleting such people? Because these people might be actually BJP's voters. You don't know who is a Hindu voter, who is he going to support. Now, whatever little support that BJP would have got from these Hindus who have been deleted, they will not get their vote anymore. So I think on the whole, if you weigh the pros and cons, I think TMC is benefiting from this SIR exercise, which has been a harassment exercise. And both Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, Christians, Buddhists, Jains have all been harassed equally.
Okay, Mr. Bose, I think in the earlier part you made one serious observation, kind of serious charge you made. You said that minority, what is being perceived is minorities' names are being deleted from the voter list. For instance, there are some of the constituencies in which, if you see Murshidabad, 66%, Malda, 51%, North 24 Parganas, 26%, South 24 Parganas, 36%. These are the regions in which there are significant Muslim population, and in all these
almost 60%, almost 60%.
All these places, there have been significant, deletion of names from these communities. So, do you think it's being done? It's a design. It's being deliberately done so that it benefits BJP. That's the charge. Even Yogendra Yadav, the Swaraj Party, leader, he also made this. Do you also believe in that this is a deliberate design by BJP?
Yes, it appears to be. It appears to be a deliberate design, but unfortunately, it has backfired. It has backfired because they have deleted equal amount of Hindu voters as well. Now, we really don't know these Hindu voters would would have voted for who? They are not going to vote for BJP now. I mean, even if they were on the rolls, but some of their family members are still on the roll and the others are not. So these people may have voted for BJP, but now they are not going to vote because their relatives have been struck off the electoral rolls. So I think this was a very foolish exercise done by the Election Commission. I don't know whether it was advised by the BJP or the central government. I don't have evidence, so I cannot say for sure. But it appears to be an exercise to clean up the rolls so that BJP gets an upper hand, BJP gets an edge of winning the West Bengal elections. But I think people of Bengal, they have understood the trick. They have understood the evil design of the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Election Commission. They would give a befitting reply on 29th of this month.
Okay, so the allegation was that EC was doing at the behest of BJP, and you think there are, that's what, in a way, you seem to agree. I'll take you to another question. TMC has been in power in Bengal for over a decade now. Isn't it natural that the ruling party would face certain anti-incumbency? You earlier said that it wasn't so, but don't you think it could affect TMC's prospect in a certain way because she's been continuously in power for such a long time?
Well, you see, any party in power for a very long period has these issues. But you see, today, if you see the perception of Bengal, what has been spread across the country and even the world is a wrong misconception. It is a wrong perception that has been spread by the central government, which is very sad because, see, once you win the election and you form the government, whether it's at the center, whether it's at the state, it should be one government because you're there to serve the people of our country. You're there to serve the people of the state and the country. So, unfortunately, there are always during the elections, certainly you will fight your opponents. But once the government is formed, whichever government, whether it's TMC or BJP at the center, TMC in the state, you should function as a single government for the sake of the people. That has not happened. But in spite of no support from the center, the TMC has got schemes, over 100 schemes, for the development and welfare of the people of Bengal. If you see Kanyasri, it has been for the girl child, for their education, their support, financial support for the girl child, right to education for the girl child. It is in our constitution. Everybody should be given the right to education. So this Kanyasri project has got recognition worldwide. The United Nations, they have acknowledged that this scheme has really, really helped the girl child. Then there is the Shastro Shati. A lot of my relatives have also benefited from this health scheme. Shastro Shati, you get 5 lakhs and anybody can apply for it. It's not only the BPL card holders or a certain segment of the population. It is open to all. Everybody can register. And normally in a family, the lady of the family registers and others also get the benefit. Like my wife has registered. She is a member of Shastro Shati. We all have these Shastro Shati card. And in spite of having other health insurance, you can claim both together. That is, gives you the flexibility. Because, health facilities are highly expensive now. If you go to a government hospital, also very expensive. Private hospital is practically so expensive you can't afford. But you can combine your personal private health scheme along with Shastro Shati. And this, I will tell you, even the Bharatiya Janata Party state leaders, they have also applied and I know they have benefited. I don't wish to mention names because I don't get personal with anyone. But even the BJP, they don't get Ayushman Bharat because Ayushman Bharat is only for a particular segment of the population, not for all. So even BJP is taking the benefit of Shastro Shati and they are criticizing the government. So there are a lot of other schemes. Lakshmi Bhandar, as you know, has been given. So there are hundreds of schemes like this which has benefited the people. And the people who matter, the people, the 70% of our population needs to be looked after, needs to be given support. They must get right to education. They must get health facilities. They must get businesses. You see, today we are ranked third as far as the GDP is concerned. People say there's no business activity here. Who said? You see the figures, the central government figures only. We are in third position in the country as far as our business is concerned. Yes, core sector industry, we have not been able to implement steel, cement, and automobile. But I think in the next 5 years, we would now focus on industry, job creation. Today, the central government had promised years back that couple of crores jobs would be given every year. Where are those jobs? So we are not a Jumla government. We are a government, what is possible, what is feasible, we would offer and implement, but not a Jumla government to promise the stars and give them nothing. That doesn't work. So the anti-incumbency factor goes out of the window because of all the development schemes which are in place as far as health infrastructure is concerned.
It's interesting what you are saying, Mr. Bose, because you were earlier vice president of the BJP and you have now lots of grievances against that party, and you seem to be saying a lot of bright things about TMC at this stage. But I would really like to know what really prompted your decision to move from BJP to TMC, at this political juncture in West Bengal. Was it more ideological, strategic, or you were reading tea leaves? What was your motivation?
Okay, I'll be very frank with you. You see, I liked in 2014 when Narendra Modi won the elections, became the prime minister. He came on a development track. He made a lot of commitments to the people. He said he would give 15 lakhs in the accounts of everyone in the country. He would bring all these people who stole money from the banks, these industrialists, business houses, they ran away out of the country. He would bring them back, put them on trial, put them in prison. Nothing happened. We are still waiting for that 15 lakhs. So I think, the government chewed what they could actually digest. And Narendra Modi, I still feel Modi among the other leaders in BJP today. You see, Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji was a very tall leader. Our family, my father, Amyonath Bose, was extremely close to Vajpayee ji. Although I was not in the BJP, we had different ideology, but we admired that man. He was very inclusive. In spite of being with the background of Sangh Parivar and RSS and BJP, he was very, very inclusive. Unfortunately, we don't see such leaders anymore in the Bharatiya Janata Party. And I thought, okay, after Vajpayee, it was Modi. But gradually what I found, that it is all about communalism. They are trying to fight communalism with communalism. That is not possible. You have to be inclusive. India is a land where unity is through diversity. It is stipulated in our constitution that India is a sovereign, socialist, democratic, secular republic. Now, a lot of people would say secular word came in 1975. Okay, you delete the word secular. The spirit of the constitution that Dr. Ambedkar ji had, composed. The spirit of the constitution is secular. It is inclusive. And that is what I thought BJP is anti-constitution of India. BJP is anti-national. For the simple reason you divide people to get votes in elections, you divide communities, you alienate the minority. It is the responsibility of the government to look after its minority community. It is there very much in the constitution. Subhas Chandra Bose in his writings had said, those who have made India their home, Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, Christians, are my brothers and sisters. Swami Vivekananda also said the same thing, inclusive. But BJP is a counter narrative of
Okay.
India's constitution, of India's spirit, of India's psyche. So I
Yeah.
thought it is no point. I was told, I was committed by the top leadership of the Bharatiya Janata Party that I can practice my grandfather Sarat Chandra Bose and his younger brother Netaji Subhas Chandra Bose's inclusive secular ideology on a BJP platform. I was even told that an Azad Hind Morcha would be established. Azad Hind Fauj, as you know, was Subhash Chandra Bose's army, the Liberation Army of India, which fought the final battle for India's freedom. Azad Hind Morcha would be formed, and I would be given charge of this morcha to travel across the country to spread Netaji's inclusive secular ideology. I'm still waiting. I waited for 7 long years. It's not that I ran away in a couple of years. I waited for 7 long years. It never happened. They just pushed me to Bengal politics. I wasn't taken. Bengal is my home. Bengal is a land of revolutionaries. Subhash Chandra Bose's activity, his early life was in Bengal. All that is fine. But I wanted to spread because today the disintegration that is taking place because of this divisive politics must end. We have to fight. And the
Yeah.
only path is Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose's ideology, which I wanted an opportunity from BJP to be in charge of Azad Hind Morcha and spread his ideology right across South India, Kerala. There are a lot of supporters in South of Subhash Chandra Bose. Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, everywhere, Hyderabad. I wanted to go and spread. But I never got the opportunity. They just utilized my legacy, Subhash Chandra Bose. They may, okay, I must also appreciate that Narendra Modi has, erected a huge statue of Subhash Bose in front of India Gate in Delhi. He's even done a museum, built a museum inside the Red Fort. All that is fine. But Subhash Chandra Bose cannot be honored. You cannot pay homage to Subhash Chandra Bose just by erecting a statue of his or making a museum. Subhash Chandra Bose can only be honored
Okay.
by following and implementing his inclusive secular ideology to protect the nation. India will break up again. India was divided in 1947 because of communal leaders of that era. Bengal was divided. My grandfather Sarat Bose fought till his last breath to keep Bengal united. But because of these communal leaders, Bengal got divided. Shama Prasad Mukherjee was a scholar. He was a brilliant scholar. But politically, he failed as a leader. Politically, he divided Bengal. This divisiveness is in the bloodstream of Bharatiya Janata Party. So unfortunately, I made a political and historical blunder by joining BJP. So I rectified it now by joining Mamata Banerjee, who I feel is an inclusive secular leader.
Okay, so very strong words have used, and then to explain why you are in TMC right now after leaving BJP. I'll come to the final part of the question. Today of this interview, today Mamata Banerjee, while campaigning for her next phase of elections, said that after Bengal result, her attention will turn towards the center. She has vowed to dismantle the BJP at the center by bringing together all opposition parties. Is it how much of this is real and how much of is electoral rhetoric? I'm asking this because when there were attempts made by opposition parties, especially Congress, a pre 2024 election, I'm talking of that phase, to forge unity at the center, it was kind of roadblocked by her. She was okay with India alliance, but there were differences over who would lead the alliance. In fact, she shot down, the consensus of the constituents of India bloc then to include include in a joint statement a demand for caste census. She shot them down. So it was also, Mamta made her attempts and tried to spread the appeal of TMC's footprints pan India. She tried to spread it to Goa, Assam, Tripura, etc. And she pushed Congress leaders. Her objective failed, and the whole thing seemed to have helped BJP. And in that context, I'm asking this: how much of this, what she said today, is real, and how much of that is electoral rhetoric?
Well, I think today Mamata Banerjee's call to the nation that all like-minded parties, by like-minded parties, I mean parties who are fighting against divisive politics, communal politics, parties who are inclusive in nature, must unite for the sake of the nation, not for themselves, for the sake of the nation. Because India would completely disintegrate under the leadership of the Bharatiya Janata Party. So I feel this is a very extremely important message that Mamata Banerjee has sent from Bengal today. Bengal has always shown the path to the rest of India. I'm sure after winning the elections, state elections 2026, it is time for Bengal leadership to show the path to the rest of the country, inclusive, secular leaders of our country, and also like minded people. Without the people, you can't do much. Apart from the parties, you need the like minded, inclusive, secular people to unite so that India remains united. Otherwise, the shape of things to come is each state will become a different country, different nation. We have been divided once. We don't want to get divided again. They are trying to divide Bengal again, North Bengal and South Bengal. We will not let it happen. But we will not let even the country get divided. We will not get South divided. South will go out. Similarly, Bengal would be out. We don't want such friction among nations. India needs to be united. And I think time has come. Prior to 2029, there is a little time. Prior to 2029, all like minded, inclusive, secular parties and leaders must unite. They should forget their differences. Whatever little differences are there, there would be differences, of course, but these differences should be kept aside for the sake of the nation, for the sake of national integration, for the sake of defeating communal and divisive forces in the country.
Well, thank you, Mr. Bose, for joining us and giving your valuable views. You have said lots of things. You have used lots of strong words. You have been in many parts. You have been earlier a sympathizer of left. Then you spent a lot of time in BJP, and now you have come to TMC. Final question before I leave you. This all these things we very passionately articulated last few minutes. What would be your role in that? Would you also like to have a bigger role in the politics in Bengal and also national politics? What would be your contribution?
Well, I don't want anything personally. I worked for the Tatas. I had to work for a living because my family, they have donated everything to the nation. And a lot of people say that we are rich. We are not rich at all, but we can eat 2 square meals a day. My appeal to the nation is, and my role, if I can unite all these leaders and parties who are inclusive and secular, if I can go across the country and unite them for the sake of saving the nation, I would like my role to be in that direction, and I want the support of all like-minded parties to help me attain this, help me to attain this, so that Sarat Chandra Bose and Subhas Chandra Bose, the country that they fought for, the country they gave up their lives for, is united and remains united forever, for years to come.
Thank you, Mr. Bose. Thank you for your valuable time.
Thank you. Jai Hind.